Hello, attendees of MLA 2020. We are Shane Stewart and Adam Mueller from the Chesterfield Township Library. Chesterfield Township Library is one of the 21 member libraries that make up the Suburban Library Cooperative, which services residents from Macomb County in southeast Michigan. Adam is a full-time reference librarian and the program's coordinator, and I, Shane Stewart, am the head of circulation and a facilitator for this program. Today, we're going to be talking about our experience with implementing an adult special needs book group at your library.
We created a special needs book group to fulfill a need in our community. After seeing a need, we researched possible special needs book group organizations and became a member of the Next Chapter Book Club. From the NCBC website, the goal of the program is promoting literacy, social connections, and inclusion for adolescents and adults with developmental disabilities. It is an opportunity to share the value of reading and to make friends and encourage one another.
So why start a book club for people with special needs? Some may have preconceived beliefs that create barriers for people with developmental disabilities. These beliefs suggest that people with developmental disabilities are not interested in or capable of learning after high school, or that they're not interested in reading, or even interested in books altogether. But this program strives to address and break down common barriers that people with developmental disabilities sometimes face. Limited opportunities for social interaction is one of these barriers. At times, even the social activities that persons serve attend can be limited and segregated. Instead, a special needs book group creates a place for social interaction, inclusion, and promotes books.
There are many benefits to creating a special needs book group. For members of the book group, the program allows them to be engaged in the community. The book group could be one of the few opportunities they have to go out in the community. For our group, Book Club Day was an outing. This is their special program at the library. The special needs book group also allows an opportunity to practice literacy. We have experienced all reading levels. Some read regularly at home, but many only read stories at the book group. We are not teaching how to read, but showing them that reading is fun. And the book group allows us to interact in fun ways to help promote social skills. We will discuss our methods later.
Attendees are not the only ones reaping benefits from this type of program. The host library also benefits. The library is establishing community support, and the book group also helps the library become more visible in the community. For most members of this book group, this is the only chance that they get to visit the library. During their visits, they also check out a number of materials, and both special needs support staff and some members inquire about other library programs and take home newsletters and flyers about other upcoming events, and it's a great opportunity to network. This awareness would not be possible without the book club. Also, the library is able to provide a service to a notably underserved portion of the community and helps fulfill the mission of the library to reach out to all areas of the community by promoting access to information and to demonstrate that reading is fun. Lastly, the Special Needs Book Group has enhanced the library's staff profession and life experiences. Working with adults with developmental disabilities is a new experience for both of us, and it's been quite rewarding. We have enhanced patience and a more flexible mindset.
Our story begins 4 or 5 years ago. The Arc of Macomb group regularly visited the library prior to the startup of this program, bringing dozens of special needs patrons at a time. They would typically sit in the magazine area or use a public computer, but many just roam the stacks with no structured activity for them. The library needed a structured program for this group, and the book group was a big hit and continues to be a popular program at our library. Our first book group meeting was on June 7th, 2017. We met twice a month up to the COVID stoppage last March. We have met 62 times with an average attendance of 24 people, including the support staff. We have used at least 5 different chapter books for this program, in addition to many short stories, poems, and play scripts.
If you're thinking of starting a special needs book group, first reach out to your local special needs agencies. Establish a partnership with an organization familiar with this population. Depending on your area, your library should have a list of nonprofits, special needs facilities, or day programs in the area. If your library does not already have regular visitors of interest, then reach out to these organizations to spread the word about this program. For us, one organization brings a substantial portion of the regular attendees each session. Say 2 or 3 van loads of persons serve arrive early to use the library before the program begins between 11 or 11:30 a.m. ARC of Macomb serves people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and includes frequent outings in the community. Several private and independent participants that are not affiliated with ARC also attend this program. We meet twice a month for 1 hour each time. It just seemed right that because ARC already visited us, that we establish a dialogue and formulated the program to best suit their activities, and we are now part of their routine. It helps that they visit the library and then they go to a nearby place for lunch after the program, which is an excellent motivator.
Neither of us have a specialized background in special needs care. Before our first session, we completed the Next Chapter Book Club online training, which consisted of access to 3 online modules for 30 days, a short training video, and a telephone consultation with Next Chapter Book Club staff. After that, we dived in and learned to make adjustments as needed. Also, having a trained backup or on-call facilitator comes in handy if one of us is on vacation. We have another part-time circulation staff member who is interested and enjoys helping out when one of us is away. We have also learned that it's a good idea to communicate with the rest of the library staff to let them know what to expect, including the librarian at the information desk and the circulation staff at the front desk.
I wasn't sure what to expect when we first started this program. Some of the training that we were looking into made it seem very simplistic. Read and go home, and maybe even it would turn into more of a phonics study or tutoring session, but where does the library fit in? This program did take off into its own entity, and our meeting room capacity has a limit of 47 people. We haven't reached the limit, but our highest count has been 32 with staff. Of course, not all were actively reading that were attending. Some just like to listen, and that's just fine. It's great to have an audience during this program. What we have found was that this was about groups of people getting together and having fun and reading with their friends at the library. There can be many unknowns or uncertainties with this program, much like how it goes in theater. Our job as facilitators is to keep the group focused on reading and just stay on task. It's fairly easy to lose sight of control slightly with the group, but Adam is great at calling order and usually goes along with a running gag that, is all Shane's fault. And I'll act surprised, or I'll make a funny sound or a funny voice from the story, and we'll all laugh and get back to work. But it really helps to use redirecting for the group. On that note, ARC staff stays and helps with any unexpected emergencies or bathroom breaks or just the occasional disruption. As we are a licensed charter of the Next Chapter Book Club, any needs that must be met by the attendees are strictly carried out by their attending staff for liability concerns. NCBC recommends one facilitator for every 8 participants. This, of course, can vary due to the nature of each patron's needs.
We'll get into book choice later, but first we will offer some experiences on establishing a structured meeting. We have noticed that many of the members are more relaxed when the meetings are structured in a flexible but repetitive way. They know what to expect since we try to organize the sessions the same way each time. And they remind us if we forget to do anything. We begin with a short visit period, and many of the members of the group are eager to share about their week and their upcoming plans they have. This helps create a friendly atmosphere. It makes me think of the show Cheers, where everyone knows your name. Upon arrival into the meeting room, it feels great to connect and meet with the group. We use an attendance sheet as a structured way to begin. Anyone that would like to sign their name can do so and have a seat around the tables, and we'll jot down the tally of attendees. The attendance sheet serves as a way to let them know we are ready to begin. We like to introduce ourselves to any new arrivals and make sure everyone is included, even the staff of person served. The most fun way to do this is assigning roles when we read plays. If we're reading a short story, we'll have a question and answers discussion as a wrap-up. The recommended books authored by Tom Fish through Next Chapter Book Club contain questions at the end of each story. We've also learned that it's good for us to read the stories beforehand to create our own impromptu questions. We have also discovered the importance of structuring the meeting around the members' attention span. We meet for 1 hour, but try to only spend about half an hour or so reading. After that, we lose their attention. After reading, we take time to ask what they thought about the book, answer some discussion questions, and tell them about the story that we will read next time. And before the staff help them out of the meeting room, members usually want to visit and let us know what they're planning to do later in the day. We also strive to create a friendly atmosphere in the meeting room by the way we set up the furniture. We usually expect a large gathering, so we are able to utilize the entire meeting room. In the center of the room, we create a square with 3 tables and about 12 chairs around the table. Then we place chairs in a second circle spread out around the room. Some members always want to sit at the table, but there are a few who prefer to sit away from the center of attention. We also have a few members who use wheelchairs or walkers, and this gives us more space for them and allows the wheelchairs to sit next to their friends and feel included. As facilitators, we are continually going from one reader to the next to stand next to them in case they need help, and the layout of the room helps us to move around.
Assisting the readers is critical to the success of the program. As I said before, this program is not about teaching anyone how to read, but really helping everyone read at their own pace. Some members are very good readers, and you can tell they read a lot at home, and others are slow readers who just need a little help, and some need us to read with them and maybe even repeat what is said. And in this program, everyone is pretty understanding and tolerant of each other's differences, and it's refreshing to see how much patience everyone has. Sometimes slowness or awkwardness of the reader makes following along with the story a little difficult for everyone else that's attending, so what we do is we try to summarize what is happening between each reader. Suggested help is to use a large bookmark like displayed on the slide and keep it horizontally to help the readers keep place. Some prefer to follow along with a finger. All the books that we have used use bigger font, and space between each line helps the readers a lot. Another suggested help is to use repetitive reading for those that need it. Adam or myself will read a line, and then a member will repeat the words while following along. You get to know the cues and anticipate where someone might need some help. Everyone is different, and we try not to correct any mispronunciations unless they are detrimental to the comprehension of the story. Otherwise, if it doesn't bother them, it doesn't bother us, and everyone has a great time.
Choosing a book can be a difficult task. Not all groups are the same. You may need to keep your options open and have contingencies. It will depend on who attends the group. We recommend using high-low stories. These are high interest, low reading level. We also look for books that are written in a simple language, for example, books that are written for children. We have learned that books with bigger size font help and illustrations are enjoyed. We found it easiest for our group to use short stories, one new story every time. Some groups use children's classic storybooks and read a chapter a session, but we found that the group had trouble retaining what we read in between, and a new story every time helps create excitement. Our group started with the recommended reading from the Next Chapter Book Club, the book Lucky Dogs, Lost Hats, and Dating Don'ts by Tom Fish, who founded the NCBC. Each chapter was a new story, and the length of each story was perfect for our needs. The second recommended reading was New Love, Spilt Milk, and Potbelly Pigs by Tom Fish. We found this book to be challenging for our needs. Some stories were very long, and we couldn't finish them in one session. Other stories were so short we had to add another story just to fill the time.
A few stories in Fish's books were short plays, and we quickly discovered that the group loved to read one-act plays, in which the readers had assigned characters and would wait until their character spoke. So we found some one-act fairy tale plays using the book 12 Fabulously Funny Fairy Tale Plays, a scholastic book for grades 2 through 4. The group enjoyed fairy tales so much that we chose the book 5-Minute Fairy Tales and expanded upon this with juvenile books from the library's children's department about fairy tales and parables. A couple times we selected poems like Where the Sidewalk Ends or holiday-themed poetry that we would read was a big hit as well. We were able to find some short children's play scripts online at the website that is on the slide here. Or also, by simply searching through Google free children's play scripts, there's some results as well. Members of the book group really enjoyed waiting for their turn to read during this unit, and we invoked humor with lots of funny voices, and it was by far the most enjoyable unit of the program.
Sometimes we would select a short story about an upcoming holiday. We have used a children's version of A Christmas Carol and How the Grinch Stole Christmas for December. In October, we read the book Scared Witless, which has humorous Halloween stories that we all enjoyed. The book Spooky Michigan tells of hauntings, strange happenings, and other local lore. Had short stories that take place in Michigan, but they weren't too scary. We have also used holiday-themed books for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, and more. For Independence Day, we read Paul Revere's Ride. After the story, the group yelled, "The British are coming!" which could be heard throughout the library. And not just holidays, but we also have used fun themes like a baseball story in the spring, or a snowman story in the winter, or a beach story in the summer.
Here is a picture of all of the books that we have used throughout the program. We try to have a few stories on hand as well as alternate the stories depending on story length, reading level, number of attendees, etc. Sometimes we discover that the group is smaller than normal and we choose to read a shorter story. Other book club charters have shared their experiences and book choice success stories. Harry Potter may have worked great for one group. However, Harry Potter would not work for our group. If you have a select group that returns each week, or even a couple times a week, and they want to stick with the same title, and they're looking forward to that each time, then great. With our group, it was important to establish a routine that could be wrapped up in less than an hour.
We have found many ways to reward participation in the book club. Our attendees loved the summer reading program and the opportunity to win prizes by keeping track of their hours of reading. Even though the summer reading logs are online now, we have made a customized printout for those that would like to keep it. A simple fillable monthly calendar works good. We catalog the hours spent reading together towards the summer reading program. We have also had some members who read a lot at home, and they continue the summer reading program and add hours to their reading log to redeem prizes when they come to the book club. One summer, we awarded each member and staff with coupons to Taco Bell as an award for having read so many hours during the summer. After the book club, the 3 vans took the 30 people out to lunch all together. I bet that was a sight. We also celebrate the completion of a book with a printout certificate that they can take home. We found it easiest to print out generic certificates and allowed them to fill in their name. The last meeting in December is an end-of-the-year party to celebrate a successful year of reading. The library donates pizza and pop from the library budget, and Arca Macomb staff are aware of any dietary restrictions and plan ahead. Usually 1 or 2 members bring a bag lunch. I raid the library's used books donations to find various titles to use as library gifts. We display all the books on a table so everyone can see the covers. After a quick holiday story, each person's allowed to take a book home, and we all enjoy pizza.
In conclusion, we have learned a lot about facilitating a special needs book club. We hope our situation soon returns to a level of normalcy that will permit this program so we can catch up, read, and have a good laugh with our friends that we haven't met since March. And what we miss the most, really, are the connections we made with these great people. So, thank you for considering a special needs book club at your library, and enjoy the rest of your conference.